Story 39. The son of a faqih said to his father, "These heart-ravishing words of moralists make no impression upon me because I do not see that their actions are in conformity with their speeches. They teach people to abandon the world, but themselves accumulate silver and corn, grain. A scholar who only preaches and nothing more will not impress anyone when he speaks. He is a scholar who commits no evil, not he who speaks to men, but acts not himself. Will you enjoin virtue to mankind and forget your own souls?" Scholar isn't a person of knowledge. The Western term for scholar is not just somebody who passes on information, that they can make comments and glosses and their own conclusions and stuff, but which is important enough, but not the main thing. Will you enjoin virtue to mankind and forget your own souls? A scholar who follows his lusts and panders to his body is himself lost, although he may show the way. The father replied, "My son, it is not proper, merely on account of this vain fancy, to turn away the face from the instruction of advisors, to travel on the road of vanity, to accuse the ulama of aberration." At least not without evidence, right? And whilst searching for an immaculate scholar, to remain excluded from the benefits of knowledge, like a blind man who one night fell into the mud and shouted, "O Muslimin, hold a lamp on my path," or a courtesan who heard him asked, "As thou canst not see the lamp, what wilt thou see with the lamp?" In the same way, the preaching assembly is like the shop of a dealer in linen, because if thou bringest no money, thou canst obtain no wares, and if thou bringest no inclination to the assembly, thou wilt not get any felicity. He said, "Listen with thy soul's ear to a scholar, although his actions may not be like his doctrines. In vain does the gangsayer ask, how can a sleeper awaken a sleeper? A man must receive into his ears the advice, although it be written on a wall. A pious man came to the door of a college from a monastery. He broke the covenant of the company of those of the Tariq. I asked him what the difference between a scholar and a monk amounts to. He replied, the former saves his blanket from the waves, whilst the latter strives to save the drowning man. And Musulmans is I don't know who came up with that, but Muslimun would be the Arabic for that, submitters to God. And somebody commented after me on something, and it's like, it's utterly ridiculous. If the Muslimin or Muslimin that were the followers of Solomon, and this of course predates Judaism, if that's what they were called, well, how can we say that just the Arabic equivalent of it is referring to something completely different? It's completely new and that sort of thing. And if we look at the meaning, surrender to God, really? You think that all these ethnic religions were later than being submissive to God? Through the teachings of the prophets and stuff.